All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Thursday, September 12th. Set today by Fed. I don't think we've had Fed for a little while, but let's see what Fed has for us today. Oh, again, like yesterday, we kept letters in the top row. I always like that. Arrange safe area online to see rocket. Well, arrange would be a very obvious anagram indicator. It's going to be 14 letters. Safe area is 8 plus online 6. Yeah, so I presume it's an anagram then of safe area online. And I think it will just give us rocket. Now, is that a spaceship? It's a very odd number of letters starting with, I presume, A. We do have 3 A's to use up. To see rocket. What's the 2-letter word? Could be of, because we do have that F to use up, or it could be in or on. But yeah, I just don't know what. Of course, rocket is also a leafy vegetable. Rocket. No, I don't get the definition, and I don't want to try the anagram until I have a letter or two. I think there's just too many possibilities. Let's try the downs. Okay, again, we go all the way down. Media franchise, also stole. Material possibly breaking firm promises. I don't think it's going to be media franchise as the definition. That might be just cluing some letters. I don't know what what is it, the name of a station or channel streaming service. So then if the definition is breaking, well, I like breaking as a wordplay word. Something breaking firm might be something going inside of CO. And then promises, maybe? Vows of something. No, I'm wondering if also might be cluing to, TOO. Yeah, so that could be the start of a word like tool or took. No. How about enthusiastic nonsense? That is seen in electronic books. All right, I think we're going to put something inside of electronic books. Electronic, I think, can simply be E. As you know, the E prefix for electronic books can be the books of the Bible, so that could be. I would think NT is more likely New Testament than OT. Nonsense could be rot or tosh or something. That is might just be linking words, but it could also be IE. Inside of E and something. So I think it's going to start with E, and for enthusiastic, no. All right, where city must go to make decent cut. Yeah, where city must go. No idea about that. News about 11. Okay, maybe we have to solve 11, or maybe it's just the Roman numerals XI. Penalties, editor, tidied up. Oh, well, I do think, yeah, I think the definition is going to be tidied up. I think it's going to end in ED, which we get from that final editor. But we're going to put something for news, I think. Oh, excuse me, I just remembered new can be N. So news could be 2 N's, which is very fiendish. But then it's going to go about 11. Yeah, if it is XI. Oh, and 11, of course, can also be a team, a side, tidied up. No, not getting that either. Wines on the counter around start of Easter feast. Okay, so I'm thinking wines are often reds, and on the counter I think might mean in the other direction. So could that be SD? Yes, SDER. The start of Easter is the letter E, and the wines, the reds backwards, goes around that, and so you get cedar, which is a feast. Finally got one. Oh my goodness. When proper, advertising watchdog gets onto fraud very well. Oh my goodness. I wonder if the definition could be when proper, and it's something, a phrase like if and or something as needed, or yeah, or maybe it means very well. What's the one? Is the one must be an A or a I? When proper. Advertising watchdog. Oh, do I need to know the advertising watchdog in Britain? Because I don't know it. But then gets onto fraud. Oh, could fraud, excuse me, be an anagram of gets onto? Yeah, I'm lost on that one too. All right, back to the acrosses. I'll just note that the second 4-letter word ends in an S, rocket. Now, supplied children with drugs at the start. I presume the definition is supplied, and we're going to have something for drugs, which could be E or dope or something like that, and then followed by children. The only thing is, I think whatever word for children has to end in ed to give the right ending for a word meaning supplied. And that's the part I'm having trouble with. Children, kids, sprogs, no. All right, initially drummer of Foo Fighters. Oh, that's, I think, a bit unfortunate using that in the clue. The poor fellow passed away. Was that last year? And of course, Dave Grohl has his own troubles at the moment, but that, of course, that wasn't known when this crossword was planned to appear today. But anyway, initially drummer, maybe that's the first letter D, of Foo Fighters. Of course, we recently had Foo Fighters come up, and I think the answer was UFOologist or ufologist, however you say it. Joins one from Genesis at intervals. I think the definition will be at intervals, maybe? One from Genesis. Okay, well, obviously there's Adam and Eve, but does Genesis cover Noah? Um, yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up, I think. But what? Yeah, or maybe it's a short phrase for initially. The drummer of Foo Fighters was Taylor Hawkins, right? But I think it might just be D. Yeah, of course, we at intervals might mean we take every other letter from Genesis, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be Adam or Eve at intervals. No. One that often represented the attack of Hull United having space up front. Oh no. I'm lost with this one. Such a long clue for a three-letter word. So I presume the definition is going to take up a lot of words. One that often represented the attack, maybe? In what sense? In a legal sense? Or in war games or something? Or chess? Of Hull United having I don't get the having space up front. No. All right. Neck about 8 pints. Well, do we have to solve 8? Well, 8 is a partial clue, so I don't. I think it might be literally the number 8. Yeah. So, but again, it sounds like wordplay. Put a word for neck. About, or well, of course, about can also be circa, C or CA. 8 pints, no. Salt set out to take in sea air occasionally. Here, I think the occasionally might be every other letter of sea air. Then again, that might be the definition because a salt is a name for a sailor, which could be a tar, a jack. Set out to take in. What's set out? Could that be an anagram of salt and then we add 4 letters from sea air? I don't think so. Oh no, we can only get 3 letters from sea air, whether the even or the odd. No, all right. Supplier of milk, shake, cutting pipe down. Well, I think I would have broken and separated milkshake anyway, but certainly having it as 2 words, I think it could be supplier of milk. And if that's not a cow, I'm wondering if it could be dairy. Shake, cutting pipe down. But I don't know how that would be dairy. It would mean 2 down would end in A, and that's a 3-letter word ending in A. Could be something like C, but SEA, but I don't think so. All right, after split, UKIPers, perhaps, I presume that's people who belong to UKIP, perhaps assuming terms of European deals are all magnanimous. That's a good clue. Yeah. UKIPers, perhaps. I'm wondering if that could be leavers, people who voted for leave. And maybe that we split that and then we put inside terms of European deals, and it's going to mean magnanimous, benevolent. Does that fit? No. Generous? No. No. So, no idea on this either. All right, I'm playing in the afternoon. I prefer to play in the morning, sometimes play in the evening. I don't often play in the afternoon. I'm going to use that as my excuse, but I have a feeling this is going to be very difficult no matter what time of day you do it. All right, Jeff Hurst, there's a name from the past, extremely upset over games not having been changed to suit the situation. Well, extremely might mean the outer letters, but I think that might apply to Hurst, the H and the T. And then upset might be anagramming over games. Oh yeah, games can be PE. I'm seeing with the H and the T from Hurst, with the E from Jeff, we have the, and then I'm thinking off the, I was going to say off the rack, but I think it's off the peg. There's the G from Jeff, and the games are PE. And so, yes, if you buy a suit that hasn't been tailored for you, it is off the peg. All right, hallelujah. I got my second one. Oh, and some nice, yeah, let me, oh, well, these are two-parters. Oh, yeah, this was our media franchise. So it's either promises or the media franchise. Oh, I wonder if it could be one of those film franchises like the Marvel Universe or. No. No, I think I'm going to go back to the acrosses. Tree line with aspen at the edges. I think it's going to be a tree. Aspen at the edges, I think, will be the A and the N. So is it a tree that ends in AN? With can be simply W. Oh no, well, I was going to, that made me think of Rowan. But I think it's actually a line can be a row, and then with is simply joining up with the AN that are at the edges of aspen. Now, if I was writing that down in a sentence, I would have probably had to look up to see if it was EN or AN. But it looks like it is AN. Okay, two in a row. I'm really on a roll. Flamethrower, maybe, cooking, unwrapped croissant. I think unwrapped means we're going to take the outer letters of croissant, and that would leave us with the ROIS, SANT. That is 8 letters. We're going to cook those. All right, I'm going to use the anagram helper here. And so flamethrower, maybe, I'm thinking it's a punning definition. But I presume it'll end in OR. But nothing, some kind of dragon or something that shoots flames from its mouth. Flamethrower, maybe. Oh, I'm not seeing this one at all. Oh, there we go. That was a lucky shuffle. An arsonist. Now, I think calling them a flamethrower is a bit of a stretch, but there we go. 3 in a row. No stopping me now. Need, nurse, back. Oh, my goodness. I think nurse can be RN, but are there other abbreviations for a nurse? Oh, I am wondering, on a boat, back would be astern, but how would ASTE be need? No, I don't see that. All right, paywall oddly. Okay, so that would be PYAL. Hiding something that could be boring. Oh, so I think if the odd letters hide, then that leaves AWL, and that could certainly be boring and all as a tool. All right, what's represented by Cupid's bow, for example, is token of affection. Um, wow, a love, token of affection. Oh, Cupid's bow, I think, is also, don't they talk about like the little uh, curly bits in the lips that she had a Cupid's bow or something? Something kiss. Cupid's bow, for example. No, I feel like I should get that, but it's just not coming to me. All right, unclear about ear piercing style, essentially. Oh, the essentially makes me think we're going to use the inner letters of some words, and it will mean unclear, I suppose. I'm wondering if we're going to end in Y from the middle of style. Do we take the middle letter of ear, the A, ARC, no, ERCI10. It does get about get involved in this. Unclear, no, don't see it. All right, some very long clues today where they go to, oh, look at that one, even went to 5. That one went to 5 lines with the length. And so it does mean when I pull up the clue, you can't see the grid. My apologies. Battery circuits. These are for private training purposes. So I presume it's one of those funny double definitions. I'm thinking circuits could be courses, which would then be for training purposes. But battery, oh yes, of course, the charge of assault and battery. And of course, if you join the army and become a private, then you may have to go through assault courses. So private training purposes, very clever. All right, that gives us some ending letters. Let me just see if anything has come up on my advertising. No, no. All right, put hours in right away and slowly develop residential area. Yeah, I don't know if it's going. Oh, well, residential area. I just looked down. I saw that surely is an estate. And so a housing estate would be a residential area. There may be some other type of estate I'm not thinking of. But, so I think ours in, but we take away the R from right away. And so that gives us the house in. Oh, yes, and if you slowly develop, you gestate. Oh, that's very clever. Yeah, I thought we were going to anagram the word slowly develop it, but no, just slowly develop is gestate. All right, I like that. All right, so now at intervals on and on and off. I like that. Initially drummer of Foo Fighters joins one from Genesis. Yeah, oh yeah, so I think it's initially we take the four next words and get their initial DOFF. Okay, that's the end. And there is in the Bible the character of Onan, whose name lives on in infamy, or fummy, however you want to think of it. Um, and so he must be one from Genesis. I didn't know he was in the book of Genesis. Anyway, so then you get your on and off, another clever one. Let's see, we do have a nice F here. When proper, something fit. Oh, there is, yeah, maybe is it Ofcom? Maybe is the advertising watchdog. That rings a bell. But I don't know how to use that information. I'm going to pause and hydrate and look up Ofcom. Well, Ofcom is a British government agency in charge of communications in general, but more about the programs that are broadcast and phone service, etc. I think it's the Advertising Standards Authority in Britain, ASA. So then I thought, oh, well, maybe it starts with as, and then I looked at the pattern and thought, oh, as fit as a fiddle. If you're as fit as a fiddle, then you are very well. So, but I think when is as, proper is fit, and then the advertising authority, and then all of that gets onto a fraud might be a fiddle. All right. Thank goodness I got that one. Where to next? Well, my media franchise, possibly. Yeah, something farmers, media franchise. No, not seeing it. Oh yeah, I never looked at these ones. Okay, entrance man entrance men or entrance men, after party, undercover. It could be entrance, and it's the front door, maybe. Yes, so a cover that a business might have, for example, would be a front. A party is a do, and men can be soldiers, and though there are all these abbreviations for regiments you need to learn, or that you start to learn as you do more and more of these. And so the OR something Rangers, I think. Anyway, I think that gives us our front door entrance. Icon wanting cold beer turned up outside local. Yeah, well, something outside local makes me think we're going to put some other letters around something for a local, which could be an in. That means the definition would be icon, I think. But wanting cold beer, maybe it's a word for beer that has a C, but we take away the C, wanting cold. Yeah, or maybe local is the definition. Because I'm thinking icon wanting cold would be ion. And then with our beer turned up outside. Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, so the beer is lager, and that is turned up, turned upside down, and it goes outside of the icon wanting cold. And if something is local, it might be regional. All right. It might make fast. Section of level crossing. Oh, ends in an O if assault courses is right. I'm fairly confident in that. Yeah, I'm thinking it might be a knot. It might make fast. Or a rope, or maybe something, a setting agent of some kind. Ending in of course. Yes, section of level crossing. It's a hidden clue. Right in the middle, we have our Velcro. There we go. Works, Oscar, parties, opening on time. Yeah, well, yeah, so Oscar in the NATO alphabet is simply the letter O. Parties opening is the first letter P. And a time could be an era. And all of that gives us an opera, which is a work indeed. All right, how are we doing now? Our unclear about. I'm thinking unclear could be cloudy. So I think it does end in Y, style essentially. And about is circa. Ear piercing is loud, and then style essentially. All right. As a love knot, I think, is a token of affection, but I don't get what's represented by Cupid's. Well, I suppose if Cupid tied a bow, would it be a love knot? I, a little suspicious of that one. I'm not sure that the two definitions or the two ways of cluing it are sufficiently different for my liking, but who am I to say? Um, anyway, I'm fairly confident. Oh, yeah, we're way past 30 minutes, so I will check it. It is right. All right. Okay, we're starting to get just in the bottom half is looking better, thank goodness. But man, what a terrible start I had today. Media franchise. Yeah, I'm Firm promises. Oh, vows. Yeah, I'm wondering if we might have a V's up above and then we end in OWS. Something else is breaking firm. But yeah, furrows. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. All right, how about our need nurse back? All right, well, it's not a stern. Oh, entail, maybe? Can a nurse be an EN? And then the back end of something could be its tail end. And if something needs something to happen, then it entails that. I think that might be it. I am going to have a cheeky click on the check this button. It is right. All right, this was our magnanimous. Ah, is it an unword? Yeah, I don't think it's anything to do with levers, but UKippers perhaps. What's another name for them? I'm going to hold my tongue. None of my business. I don't live in Britain, but I'm sure you all have your own opinions. Unselfish, I think, might be magnanimous. So, but after split. Oh, did UKIP? I don't think they're still going. Isn't there a, or maybe they are. Maybe there's a previous party. I'm trying to remember from the last general election not too long ago. There's some party anyway that has gone and has been replaced by another. No, I think UKIP is still there, right? Perhaps assuming terms of European deals. Yeah, like where would the F come from? No, I think I'm going to have to look at 15 squared at the end to understand that one. Let's see. Let's try the top right. Well, if I can get one across would be great. Yeah, okay, I'm going to dive into the anagram helper. I thought it was safe area online. Oh, I should have put in a something of a something of one's. No, there's only one O. Yeah, what's the four-letter word ending in S going to be? And it's going to mean a rocket. Nothing to do with NASA. Fin rocket. No, we'll come back to that one. Here was the salt set out to take in sea air occasionally. Oh, salt can be a verb too, right? To salt something. Set out. Oh, set out might be an anagram of set. And that takes in sea air occasionally. Yeah, but I don't have enough letters, I think. No, that's rather tricky. This was my enthusiastic nonsense. That is seen in, ebullient. Yes. So there's, I think, the electronic and the New Testament. And there's nonsense can be bull, and that is, i.e., id est. All right. Well, I don't think the E is really going to help me much. Rocket, something. No. Now here's my children. I think the U must be part of the children. Young with drugs at the start. Oh, maybe we replace the first letter instead of just inserting. Yeah, maybe it's not going to be an ed word supplied, ensued. Yeah, it might be some other past tense like brought or something. Oh, I didn't notice I have a U. So united, of course, can be simply the letter U. One that often represented maybe the attack of Hull, as in something ship related, and then united having, oh, oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you really have to be a certain age to get this one. I did remember from typesetting there are different widths of a space, whether it's the width of a letter N or a letter M, I think. And if it's an M, you call that space an M, EM. And so emu, and so you have to think of Rod Hull and emu, ventriloquist, whose emu puppet would attack him or Michael Parkinson or whoever else was around. But yeah, I would be curious how many people under, say, the age of 40 have heard of Rod Hull and emu. I'm sure he shows up in compilations, just the way when I was growing up we would see clips of people from the 50s and 60s before our time. Anyway, wow, all right. And that E doesn't really help me where city must go to make decent cut. Ooh, could it be a hidden clue within make decent? No. No, I don't think so. Where city must go. No. All right, is this going to have anything to do with 11, on and off, news about on and off penalties? I don't think so. Editor tidied up. So what would news be? A short synonym for news? Could be Jan as in information. About 11 penalties. No, don't see it. Yeah, don't see that one either. All right, I think though, because of the time, I'm going to have to go to wordplays.com and see what 8-letter words have the S, R, and T in these positions. Well, there are a lot of words that fit this pattern. One I saw that, I don't know if you salt something, do you saturate it? I'm not sure if that's right, but I see we do have set around the outside. We don't, yeah, I don't think this is right, but let me check it. No. Oh, it is something right. Now I'm going to go ahead and reveal it. Oh my goodness. All right. Steerate. Um, I presume that means salt. Set out to take in sea air occasionally. Yeah, I'm too tired to work out why that is right, but I'm sure it is. But we'll rely on 15 squared to explain that. I did use wordplays.com to find what that word might be, and of course, furious. And then I thought, oh well, I was right when I thought it might be a film franchise. I think calling it a media franchise might be a bit loose. Maybe they could have helped us a little bit. But anyway, Fast and Furious. Although I think I would have said The Fast and the Furious, but maybe it is just known as Fast and Furious among the cognoscenti. So I think the way it goes is stole material, that is very clever, is fur, because a stole might be made out of mink or another fur. Also, I think is and, so also stole material is and fur, and that breaks up. Firm is fast, tied fast is firm, and promises are IOUs. I should have remembered. I said vows, but I should have remembered IOUs is very frequently used, particularly when it might be at the end of a word. All right. So now, what would this be? I think I'm going to put in the A here and use the anagram helper. At least we know where the F is. I'm sure many of you see the anagram already. Oh, a fire. A fire on. Oh, I was going to say a fire in, but we were used up. Oh no, it can't be fire because the E is in the wrong place. A. Yeah, maybe it is I at the beginning. Rocket. Oh, I'm just not seeing that one. Yeah, I'm wondering now. I mean, could it be like a song title? Thing of I Feel for You, but I don't think it's that. Arranged that to see rocket? Is that part of the definition? Oh my goodness, not seeing it. All right, so now children with drugs at the start. Maybe the drugs are E's, but now what word for supplied begins with ES? No, What else with drugs at the start? Oh, it could be, maybe it's drugs at the, oh my goodness, drugs at the start is just the letter D that comes at the end. Yeah, there's always the problem with me that I read things in a certain way and it's very hard to get that out of your mind. So I was sure the children were going to come at the end, but no, of course, your children are your issue. And then the D in issued is supplied. Ay, ay, ay. Definitely should have got that one sooner. Where city must go? Could it be an anagram of decent? I don't think so. I can't, yeah. Not seeing that one. Oh, here was the supplier of milkshake cutting pipe down. Oh, pipe down could be telling someone to hush. Yeah, but then it would be a shake cutting SH. Well, with the D, that's not going to be right. So, oh, an udder, of course, would be a supplier of milk if you go straight to the source. Ah, yes, and shake is shudder, and you do remove the SH that means pipe down. All right, well, I do take some comfort in the fact I spotted that. When I started my journey a few months ago, I would not have got that one, I can tell you. And indeed, on another day, I may not get that one. All right, neck, about 8 pints. Oh, yes, so I think 8 pints is a gallon. Ah, that's why 8 pints. And I think if somebody has neck, they have the temerity, the cheek, or the unmitigated gall to do something. And if you read something that is about a subject, it is on that subject. So gall on becomes gallon. All right, so now where city must go to make decent cut. I can just think of indent as a word that would fit, but I've no idea why that would be right from either the definition or the wordplay. Well, let's check it. It is right. We'll have to go to 15 squared to see why it is right. All right. My bête noire today won across. So I think it must be in. And yeah, if we use up the I there, then it must be a something in. We do have 2 N's, so it could be one's. Oh, a flea in one's ear. Ah, yes. So I think colloquially speaking, if you say, oh, I sent him off with a flea in his ear, I gave him a good talking to, you might also say, I gave him a rocket. I don't know, I've never used the phrase myself, but I think you'd say something like that. Oh, well, I don't feel too bad not getting that, but very tricky for me today. All right, so now news. Oh, I did think, yeah, so I thought we might have 2 N's, about 11 penalties, and then the ed for editor, And tidied up, of course, would be neatened. So 11 penalties is EATE. How is that 11 penalties? I'm sure that's something very clever, but I'm just not seeing it. All right, a long one today. I'm going to quickly check all. Everything else still there. Let's do a quick look at 15 squared. All right, the blog today is by Andrew. Typically entertaining puzzle with some quite involved parsing in places, to put it mildly. All right, yes, a rocket is a reprimand. Let's see, the cross is 14. So salt is, I think maybe chemically a salt is a stearate or whatever. Anyway, the alternate letters of CAR, EAR, go inside of state. To set out something is to state it. Wow, that's very tricky. And splitting, oh my goodness, U kippers gives U plus kippers, which equals U plus fish. And then we put around the last letters of European deals are all. Oh my goodness, very tricky. Well done if you worked all of that out. Okay, 28, love not. Love, what's represented by Cupid? And then a bow, for example. All right, I suppose, but I still think, yeah, to me, love is love and Cupid and all of that, and I think there's just too much sameness in that. But anyway, on the downs, indent, to make decent, we have to put the city, EC. Oh yeah, so I think the City of London, which is the small financial district of London, right, has the postcode EC, and it has to go in dent to make. That is, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever be at the level to get something like that. All right, news about 11. So we do have to take 11 across off and on and use that to apply to penalties to take every other letter, put it in the new, plus, my goodness, very, very tricky. Started slow with this one. Glad I'm not the only. Quite a few unparsed. Fed was too clever for me. Yes, and of course emu, you have to know all about Rod Hull. All right, well, I did find that very, very difficult, but got there in the end. Thank you for sticking with me, and have a wonderful day.